So, Dynamite next week, like I say, Swerve versus Hangman Page, winner faces Joe at Revolution. You got the tag title match, Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Sting and Darby Allin, Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita, CMLL lads versus the BCC. But most importantly, Tony Khan has got a big announcement. Hang on, we've got a thing for this.
You're joking. Not another one?
Sage, what is it this time?
Well, let's unpack this. Okay?
Okay.
Tony Khan has synonyms for this sort of thing, right? So Tony Khan has an important announcement. Tony Khan has a huge announcement. Tony Khan has a big announcement. Now, what's at play here? Is it huge is more than big?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huge was Wembley, wasn't it?
That's something. I can't remember. I don't have an itemized list in my head of what every announcement versus synonym of big, huge, important, significant, whatever. So maybe he's downplaying it by saying, "Oh, it's big. Oh, it's not huge, but yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big." Or maybe he's recognized that huge is like doesn't have much SEO value anymore, does it? Huge.
It really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
I wish it still did.
Yeah. So maybe he's wary. He's very much dialed in on the pulse. Maybe he's wary of the criticism, and maybe big is just his way of saying, "Oh, well, they don't buy the huge announcements anymore. But what about a big one?"
What was the announcement of an announcement? Was that a huge announcement that you opened like a Russian doll and had a big announcement inside? Or was the big announcement, I've got a huge announcement next week?
The huge announcement is that we are announcing the tickets things for...
That was it.
That was the last one where it was like, stop it. You're taking the absolute piss. Stop it. So I don't know if I'm reading into anything in terms of the synonym used, but... realistically, and this is the problem with AEW, I was very much, nope, he hasn't ruined it yet. No, he hasn't ruined it yet. I think even when All Access was announced via the huge announcement match graphic, I was like, well, hang on. This is pretty huge. You're advertising a new TV show.
Yeah.
What are you meant to do with that?
Yes.
Just on the night of, just say, oh yeah, there's no TV show. It's like, it's a big property. Well, they hoped it would be a big property.
And the network would want you to
big it up. The network would want you to big it up. Let's be realistic about it. It's a new property. Rights fees are huge. This is it strengthens the relationship with the network. They want us to put it over. What else were we meant to say? Oh, don't watch. It's all worked.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It was the Wembley. It's going to be on sale for Christmas. No way. It's not, you just say it in the broadcast.
It's July like everybody else. This when tickets go on sale.
So I was like kind of the last guy to start taking these announcements seriously or to stop taking them seriously.
It's February now, so we're shopping for a new tree.
This is an incredibly long-winded way of saying at this point it could be anything. At this point it could be anything. Let your imagination run wild if you wish, or lower your expectations as far as possible. Look, this is probably something to do with the heavily rumored, and you might be inclined to say, all but confirmed signings of Kazuchika Okada and Mercedes Moné. And if you link it further to the Tony Khan tweet, which we've been mentioning of late, of 2024 is a new 2021, well, where are the great gates? The double down, the double debut of Moné and Okada, maybe the triple one if you count Ospreay at Revolution, because Ospreay is finished up in February, if not now. Same with Okada. They're both doing additional dates that aren't in their contract. Either way, by Revolution, you could get them both. You could get all three. It would be, should we just work on the basis that it's to do with them three?
I think it's going to be, he's going to book Ospreay in a match next week.
Okay.
I think he preserves the surprise of those two when he books Ospreay. And to be fair, like that is
for
big.
Dynamite, I don't think there's enough space.
No, he says, I'm here to announce that at Revolution, insert wrestler here.
John Moxley.
It
wasn't me, someone on Twitter, and again, I'll start remembering these names, I'll take the screenshots, said, because I said on the preview yesterday, Moxley's winning a lot.
Yeah.
For what reason? And then someone in response to the preview, sorry, I forgot your name, or just didn't write it down, jot it down. What about the debuting Ospreay at Revolution? Because he goes up against someone who's a winner.
He books it for the the pop. You know, it just says like you knew he was coming, but you didn't know when. Well, I'm here to tell you when. It's Revolution.
They've already
never done it as a singles either, have they?
No.
And they've already sort of done the confirmation of the CMLL relationship, so it probably won't be that, correct?
Well, no, they're running. They'll have had to be 2 matches deep, probably
An
by the time
invasion's cooler than
Yeah.
an administrator
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out and saying, we've signed a work agreement. Oh, well, I preferred it when I'm hopping the rail,
Yeah.
kicking ass. Like,
Run Retribution, like, well, good news.
that's it, yeah, we've signed them to contracts.
So working on the basis that it's to do with Ospreay and or Okada and or money.
Nope.
Careful.
Quick one, just a quick one.
Nothing happened.
Just a tip. Is it a good idea to do the double or triple debut? It's very Tony Khan to do that. He's alluded to the fact that he's going to do it with that 2021 tweet. Should he space these things out? Should it be a case of let your superstar, all-time great wrestler, A, debut a little bit before all-time superstar great B, so that they each have the chance to register their presence, do something cool, spark conversation on their own terms, and then he can just play with the Carter toy in April. You know what I mean? Like the bloom went off the rose of Randy Orton's return quite quickly.
Yeah.
Realistically, how long do these things really last? I don't know, but you should be milking them on their own terms a little bit. And I will say as well, I don't want money to be caught up in that. Oh, the men at the end. Money in the middle. Like, I don't want that.
Well, like Tony Storm celebrating and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later it's all swallowed up by something that happens with the card or not. Like, I would say...
I think she's bigger.
Well, that's the thing. She is.
I think she's a bigger star than.
She's a bigger star.
If you order out, Punk was wrestling, and that was his thing, but he'd done the comeback. You had to do Adam Cole, then Bryan Danielson. You had to have it that way around.
She's got, obviously, by virtue of the fact that they haven't really done anything in North American TV, but she's got more bona fides as someone who's demonstrably capable of pulling numbers. Mm-hmm. So maybe she should get the red carpet treatment. I'm just saying that I know it's fun. 2, where there used to be 1. 2 for the price of 1. Oh, my fun's been doubled. It was great at All Out. I don't necessarily think you have to do it again. That, to me, would indicate that you were, again, telling and not showing the audience, oh, it's great, guys, it's 2021 all over again. Shut up, pubes. It's 2021, and the last 2 years, it's 2021 again. Shut up. It isn't. Show me that it's 2021 again. I would just feel like it's a hollow callback to the glory days, basically. All Out 2021, if in fact you do the double debut. Don't do it for doing its sake. Like, we'll see. And I'll tell you what, on that, again, if we are working under the presumption that it's a Ospreay and Okada, I know because you have been WWE leaning is your favorite, and that's fine for the past like 1 or 2 years under Triple H, right? And I'm with you on Okada.
Yeah.
I don't
You said yourself you wanted to see what that looks like.
I just think there's more matches.
I want to see him in the Fed. I don't think that's a good place for him anyway. It's weird. That's for how exposed he's been and how many long matches he's worked and blah, 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 blah. I'm personally on Okada and AEW. Ospreay's a bit of a different proposition. Mm-hmm. But the fact is, this is Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay in the space of a month. You're going to have to build the promotion around these two. If you want to extract the maximum value, and you kind of do, you want those gates to be higher. You want to put them in matches every single week. By the way, they're not losing, and it's ranked now. You have to build your promotion around these two names. So I'm sorry, Paige and Swerve. I don't know what happens to you now.
Work or shoot. Ospreay was talking in that promo like he was working his way into a world title match at Wembley. Like whether or not he was doing that under the sort of... That was a produced segment. It was like, go out there and talk your way in the main event because we're going to start selling tickets, or he was just shooting a shot. Either way, that's where certainly he sees what this job is. Yeah. Like, I want a main event at Wembley and I want to be a world title contender, and you probably should. I'm not an Ospreay guy, but like most people that are, or even they're just casual viewers of his work, say he's the best in the world because Kazuchika Okada has an equal argument. That's a good reason to have them
best
both.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
That's a good reason to have them lead the charge, and suddenly Swerve and Hangman are looking and going, oh, God, like...
You have to.
This isn't ideal, but these two have shown... I think that's all right. You know, it's the spirit of proper competition.
Yeah, and it's not just to extract the value from these wrestlers. All-time greats, people consider each of them the very best ever.
Yeah.
And I'd listen to the argument, even if I don't necessarily think they're quite up there. Like, you can't just put them on the regular rotation and not give them a superstar presentation and not build around them. Because it's like, well, no one else will make the difference. And you'll exacerbate the trust issues and all the memes of, all right, you'll see him again in 6 weeks, or maybe he'll join a stable or feud with a stable or do a gauntlet. These two names have to really be treated specially and differently. Do I trust them to do it? I do not know.
Mercedes Moné, I still think, because it's been seemingly over the line for so long, not necessarily that they've always been promoting it, but like she sat there at Wembley Stadium. That was a choice. And I know that then there was suddenly a bit of a conversation opened back up.
Sasha's the best North American women's wrestler ever, I think.
Well, I think you have to present her as I'd be very surprised if she was named in the announcement next week, because everybody has assumed it. I think it's the worst thing you can do is just double down, because it's like, well, we've already started to adjust to the idea that she's going there. Then you confirm it's like, oh. I think that there's a pop worth preserving there. How you do that, I don't know, like Toni Storm beats Deonna Purrazzo and is presented with a contract that says MM on it, and she's about to swing for Mariah May. And it's not me. Music hits.
Wait.
Oh my God.
She appears on the stage.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Off the top of my head. But like, just that, for example, where it's like the surprise in the moment just creates this awesome buzz around her straight away, because you've inadvertently sacrificed that a bit by showing her on the screens, having that one boss tease. The conversation has always been around it. You need to find that buzz again. Naming her in an announcement, I don't think is the way to do that. Contrast that to a Will Ospreay or a Kazuchika Okada. Ospreay for me is it. Ospreay is the announcement. He's told you he's coming, but it's just not yet, guys. Calm down, bruv. That was weird. But like Tony Khan just formalising it,
yes,
I think is like, people are buying the ass out of this Revolution show. They're attending for Sting. The buy rate is going to be a good one, I think.
That's going to be tremendous.
It's feeling like it's going to be a stacked show. This is their opportunity to... It's not one of them years where they can out WrestleMania, but it's really hard to get the conversation at this time of year, and Revolution will grab that conversation by the throat if they continue to stack it the way they are.
So just to conclude, in terms of the announcement, Tony Khan's going to need a bit of rares and tears out the ass.
Correct.